Welcome into the Dad Verb Podcast. On this episode, we are going to be doing a parenting version of Would You Rather. We're going to be going back and forth, hashing out some of these options that we've found online. And if you're watching on YouTube, you notice that it's just the two Andrews today. You got me and Andrew Saunders. Ben is not with us today. So we're going to be tackling this just the Andrews. So if you're joining us, that's the deal. But as you know, we always like to kick things off with our sick check. It's always a miracle. I'd say probably the sickest time of the year is end of January, early February. I think the sickest time of the year. Got a little story about that too. But we'll start with Andrew. How is your health? How is your family's health? How are you guys doing?
We're good. I mean, I currently have a throat tickle, different? But I think that's just bad water or something.
We got a little tickle.
It's not like hasn't become a full-blown cough yet. I don't know, maybe by tomorrow I'll be a warning, but kids are good. Neither kid is sick. We made it through our second birthday. So we turned 2 yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, little one.
Life is good.
How'd you guys celebrate?
Well, my wife threw a 2-year-old 2:00 tea party, and I made cucumber sandwiches and egg salad sandwiches and cream puffs and bruschetta and caprese salad.
Dude,
little mini pizzas. It was a little tea party. Everything was finger food because, the queen does tea properly. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well,
it's pretty good.
We are, it might be one of those episodes where it's on a slight delay again with my internet and stuff like that, because I'm monitoring all of our numbers and stuff, and there might be a slight delay. I'm having the internet things again. But for my sick check, by the way, I don't know if you heard me cough earlier. Once again, it's not good for me. My son is upstairs with the flu. I just got back from a giant work trip, and it was I got something there, had a cough, and my fear is that I get better from whatever this is, and then I roll straight into my son's flu. That would just be horrible. It was so bad at my son's school that their nurse had to send an email to our whole the entire elementary school parenting email list, and they were like, hey, please, don't send your kids to school when you know that, because the email is basically, we know that that your kids have symptoms, so please don't send them to school with that. So that was it was bad.
This is when the school starts charging that $50 bad parenting fee, right?
There you go. If you know what I'm talking about, we covered off on a $50 bad parenting fee at restaurants. But yeah, that's I mean, that would be a nice penalty, especially when we're putting our kids at risk here, man. Our kid is upstairs right now. He's been like, Dad. It's been bad. So.
Did he get it before you came back, or are you the carrier in this case?
No, I'm not the carrier because I've never been this bad. I got back and it was a good couple days, and then yesterday he started to really get not good, and then just upstairs he just truly just can't get up, just body aches. I've never seen him like this. It's just bad. He got the flu last year as well, but it's really sad to see your kid just you're like, oh my gosh,
not my idea of a good time.
No, and then our wife's not doing super hot either. Again, the parenting struggle of being sick and then having to take care of your kids with all the demands of being a parent. I'm not at 100, but I feel like I'm functioning, so I was able to cook dinner, do all the stuff. But you know how it is, man. You know how it is. Anyway, we are going to be playing a game of Would You Rather. Before that, I just want to quickly talk about the death of Dad Verb, right? Dad Verb just sucks. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Wow.
No. Bleak.
Andrew,
no, I'm
too,
kidding,
taking a bullet for the team.
No, guys. So listen, I started off as a content creator 2017, 2017. And it morphed from a vlog channel to a review channel to a tips and just general parenting for babies, right? But then as our kids have gotten older, it's changed. But YouTube has also changed, and my appetite as a content creator has changed. And, the things that, perform well back in the day versus now, everything has changed. Right. And now, we're seeing this mass exodus of like content creators who just like no longer want to do it anymore. Like they're quitting, they're stepping back. I've been in that process for like the last year or so, but like the reality, the rigors of like always being a content creator, like it's you know it, it's tough in a lot of different ways. There's it's a quote unquote dream job, right? But there is some very unsexy aspects to it, especially when a lot of your success is in a niche where it's predicated on like putting your kids on camera, right? And brand deals always want review our stroller with your kid in it and all that stuff. So I don't know, just my appetite for that has just like really just like, I don't know, I've just felt like I haven't been doing content the way I used to. It's always been something like, I don't know, branded or whatever. That's why just like I finished up this last bit of like videos. And I'm like, I'm taking a reset. I'm done with, any sort of branded whatevers. And I'm just going to be doing just organic stuff. There's things that I like that are more relevant to just life as a dad, as opposed to parenting for babies. And that's where I have been going. That's where it's going to continue to go. And the frequency is just going to be far less. But to help boost the frequency was to migrate the podcast from where it was to here, to Dad Verb. And with that is a big shift in content, a big shift in the types of content, big shift in the length, big shift in faces that are on this channel, and a big shift in my happiness.
Is that a fat joke?
No, it is not a fat joke. But yeah, the last topic, right? The big shift in my happiness. I've noticed that when I scale back and just make content fewer, and only content that I really like, it makes me happier. So like one of my favorite videos that I've ever made on the channel is also one that not as many people watched. It wasn't like a big one, and it was me rediscovering Pokemon with my son. I think it was like a micro documentary, basically, is what I would like kind of call it. My favorite video. I was like, if I can make those kinds of things, like just like fun insights and things that I enjoy, things that I learn with my kids, that's great. That's kind of where I want to keep going with it. But anyway, that said, podcast is here. It's here to stay. We've got different faces, and I just wanted to let you guys know that that's kind of where the plan was. And I've got a couple videos lined up, but they're going to be on my time. So and whether they pop off for 1 million views or they get 12 views, I really don't care, because I like making it, and that's what I'm gonna get back to. So yeah.
What? You're gonna get back to doing it for the enjoyment?
Yeah. Isn't that a wild thing? Isn't that a crazy thing? Because for a while I was making videos.
Like the thing you started because you enjoyed it, you're gonna go back to doing because you enjoyed it, not for the money.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? It's a weird
coincidence. Almost like if you do what you love for work, you'll never work a day in your life. Yeah.
But for those of you guys who didn't know, I was working full time as a content creator for like 3 years. Stopped that, went back to work, and it's just that's what's good for me. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the content, and let us know if this is something that you're cool with, and if it's not, then whatever. Anywho, guys, we're gonna migrate over to
if it's not, reach out to me on the Dad Verb content channel in Discord, and we'll discuss your opinions.
Oh man. Well, that's
or
it, guys.
Leave a comment, and we may or may not reply.
May or may not. There you go. Andrew may or may not reply. All right, guys. Let's get into it. Would you rather? I have a bunch of would you rather questions that Andrew has not been prepped for yet, but I'm just gonna toss them his way. We'll have a discussion, and I want to hear what you guys think. And here's the first would you rather. Okay, are you ready? I'm sorry, I've talked nonstop for like 10 minutes.
I'm ready.
All right.
I just don't know if I have enough vodka to skip the questions and drink. Like, I just
do a shot right now. All right, here we go.
Okay, shoot.
All right. If you had to babysit one of your kids' friends for 8 hours, an 8-hour babysitting session, right? 8 hours straight. This is something that we've done, right? Would you rather babysit one hellion or 8 needy angels? All right. So hellion, tough, tantrumy, probably messing up your house. 8 needy children and 8 needy angels. Angels, I mean, like they're good kids, probably a little bit loud, but a lot of take me potty. I gotta get change. I'm not potty trained yet. All right, can I have a snack? Can I have a snack? Can I have a snack? What's the next show? Constant barrage, possibly cleaning out your pantry, but a hellion is a tornado. So I mean, considering the two,
no. My buddy has 7 kids between the ages of 2 and 16. Was the last time I had all of them in my house, and they are all good kids. They would fall. Okay, 5 out of the 7 would fall on the angel side of the fence.
Okay,
yeah, don't name names. You know who you are.
Yeah, there you go. They don't listen to this podcast.
I'm going with one hellion.
Really?
I'm going with one hellion, and here's why. Yeah,
okay.
Because I'm the kind of guy who'd load him up with sugar, let him crash for that nap, and then spend 2 or 3 hours like that. Yeah, that's the like. You want to be a hellion? Here's the backyard and a rake. You go kill it, right? Like, as long as he's not bleeding.
He takes the rake to your window. He's a hellion.
Yeah. I hear you. I acknowledge the problem, right? But that's all fixable. All right.
What if the
little
hellion
kids
breaks
going? Can I have a snack?
TV? What if the hellion like just throws like
I can get another TV?
Would you have a stern conversation with the parents and like, yo, this happened. You need to. Well, you got.
Yeah.
Like now that costs money.
And all my friends understand that. We all have that knowledge that like your kid comes to my house and breaks something, you just bought it. Like that. Okay. That would be part of the babysitting contract, even with the angels. Like. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think the angels wouldn't do that, though. Yeah. They know. They just annoy the hell out of you for 8 hours.
They wouldn't do that. But there's 8 of them always wanting popcorn. Like, at some point, I'm going to run out of popcorn.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah. And there isn't enough melatonin in the world to knock out all the angels, right? I might be able to dose the hellion with enough melatonin. No, I'm going with 1. I feel like 1 is going to be 8. Yeah.
What if they get aggressive? What if they're like hitting, like tantrumy, like hitting, like they take a few swipes at you?
I'm the kind of dude who I will restrain a kid. How? I'm not a small guy. I'm a pretty big guy. I just wrap them up and hold them.
Just hold them
tight. You got a bear hug until you calm down.
Oh man. See, okay. Right? So here's my take on that. I feel like a one hellion. It's just like. It's just just like a lawsuit waiting to happen. I don't know whether whether it's like you can't hold me like that, blah blah blah, because I don't know, or they start breaking stuff. I don't know. I would take, even though it'd be run down for over the course of 8 hours, like I would do the 8 angels, even if my pantry's just like
really
shot. Like I don't know. I think 8 good kids forging good relationships with my kiddo, and just like I don't know.
You didn't say my kids were involved. You said it was me versus 8 or me versus 1. This is a man-on-man defense thing.
I think at the top of it, these are your kids' friends. So you're having.
It doesn't mean my kids are there. Come on.
But regardless, even if your kids aren't there, I don't know. I feel like I would go with the 8 angels, even if they would run me into the ground and tired of, like, at least I know that they're good kids. They're not like messing things up. And
I think you're right in the sense that you will be exhausted at the end of the 8 hours with the 8 angels. Right? I think the piece that you're missing is you aren't stopping for 8 hours. With the one hellion, they don't have an unlimited battery. They're not going for 8 hours. They're going to go in spurts. So you're going to get some kind of break to recharge yourself in there somewhere.
Okay.
And even if the kid managed to throw a baseball through every window in my house, that's my fault for giving him baseballs. Right? Like,
oh, no. Okay. All right. Here's my counter to that. Okay. Here's the thing. Okay. Even if he doesn't run the full 8 hours, right? And you melatonin him for 6 hours, The 2 hours
Right.
could potentially be broken windows, drawings, or just like chunks
Yeah.
of drywall ripped out, right? That goes beyond an 8-hour session and becomes a hassle for you over the next week or two to get things cleaned up, to get things back in order, whatever. Eight angels
Completely
out.
understand.
And that's where I'm
That's
like,
true. That's true. You're going with the
one
get
hellion
it done.
could become more down the line, is what I think.
Yeah, see, I'm not worried about tomorrow Andrew's problems. I'm worried about today Andrew's problems.
There you go. It's the foresight.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All
All
right.
right. Are you
right. Next one? What do we got?
All right,
Let's
you ready
move
for the next
on.
one?
We're gonna beat this dead horse.
All right. Would you rather clean a diaper blowout at 35,000 feet up in the air, okay, in an airplane, right? And not fun to have to deal with that, or have your child vomit in the car on the freeway? Both things have happened to us. I'm just going to put that out there right now. Well, actually, no. We had a bit of both worlds. We had our kid vomit. I caught his vomit. I don't know why. I mean, first reaction when he's throwing up is just to catch it. I very squeamish.
This can't hit the floor. Yeah.
But right. But it happened on an airplane. That literally happened to us. That sucked. That was terrible. So that was just with one at the time. It was Henry when he was a baby. But anyway,
I haven't taken the kids. I haven't taken a kid on a plane yet, but before I had kids, I was a very seasoned traveler. Mm-hmm. I am very confident that blowout on an airplane is less work and I will have more support than vomit on the freeway. Because I have done vomit on the freeway 5 or 6 times. Mm-hmm. That is not like, that isn't a good scenario, no matter what you do. I mean, I carry a box of those blue machinist towels in every car because of vomits on the freeway, right? Yeah. Whereas airplane blowout, the worst case scenario I can imagine in my head is a stinky bathroom and a kid in a chair on a diaper. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Everything else I can get through in my head is like vomit sit bag sealed full of clothing because it's all poopy. Mm-hmm. Right. The chair's been cleaned by the stewardess. The stewardess is willing to help. Like, I'm going blowout on an airplane. Yeah. Way better than vomit on the freeway every day of the week. You know what? So if I were to take out the locations, whether it's on an airplane or a car, doesn't matter. I don't really care. If I am to choose between vomit and poop, I will pick poop any day. Blowout, wet, creamy, up the back. I will take that over the vomit any day. I can't do the vomit. And we're not talking about spit up, baby spit up. We're talking about vomit. I would pick dealing with a blow, because I don't know. I guess maybe it's just like I've done it a bunch. And doing it on an airplane, it's just like not that big of a deal. Now, here's the thing. Both would require cleanup and a change of clothes, right? Because like you either vomit on yourself and you got to bag that up or whatever, or poop, and then you change the diaper, you get everything cleaned up. But I just like, I think that the poop is the lesser of the two evils. I think I know that. So the thing for me with vomit is not that it even grosses me out or I can't deal with it. Like the odor inevitably gets to me at some point in this process, but what it is for me is you're not prepared in any way, shape, or form for a large quantity of any kind of liquid to come out the top, right? It's not like their clothing is super absorbent. It's not like their chairs are super absorbent, right? At least with a blowout, the diaper is designed to handle that in some way. And so 50% of the mess is contained and disposable immediately. Whereas with vomit, no, you got to deal with 100% of the mess, and there's nothing you can just like ball up and toss right off the bat and then do the certain. No, I blowout on a plane every day of the week. Both are very pungent smells. But I am way more repulsed by vomit than I am. It's the stomach acid bile smell. That's. Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk. All right, here's a classic. It's a classic parenting issue. Would you rather step on a Lego or be headbutted by a toddler? Oh, I've done this. Headbutted where? I guess in the head to head.
I've done that. That sucks.
Step on a Lego or headbutted by a toddler?
All right, let's step this up a little bit because
So
I feel like the pain
so
on
I'm gonna
both is not like being headbutted. I think is way more painful than stepping on one Lego. Let's say you have to walk a sidewalk, 5 steps on Legos, hard. Like
that's
you know,
look. Stepping on the question should be stepping on a Lego or nailed in the groin by a toddler. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because you've always had the toddler comes running up to you and it's just you take one and you're like, right?
Let me
it's
tell
that
you
same
how,
moment.
Let me tell you how I was just headbutted by my daughter. Okay. This is my daughter. She's a year and a half. Okay. We're sitting there. We are watching Bluey together. Okay. New episodes of Bluey just rolled out, by the way. They're fantastic. These writers absolutely crushed the show. They are amazing. Anyway. So the way I'm positioned is I am behind my daughter, right? We're on the couch. I'm behind my daughter and like my arms are just kind of like around her waist, right? Almost like a seat belt. And she's like leaning back onto kind of like my chest a little bit. And my head is like a little bit like she was using my head as like a pillow, right?
Right.
And she just like just like leaning on me. It was like really sweet. And I get to like hold her and it was very nice. But what she likes to do sometimes, especially during like the theme song of the show, is she likes to rock back. Right.
Right.
So
bam.
She starts getting ready to do it. And she goes whack right into my temple. Right. The back of her head. Whack right in there. I felt it felt like I was hit by an NFL linebacker. I got rattled. And I was like, I saw stars for a second. I was like, that absolutely sucked.
Right.
So a headbutt like that, I would easily choose Legos over that. And I stepped on a couple toys, all that.
Yeah, no,
even steps on not just Legos, just toys in general that drew blood. I stepped on a Mario Kart toy that was Bowser, and one of Bowser's back spikes on his shell got through me, broke skin on my foot.
Ooh,
that sucked. I would still choose that over getting headbutted by my daughter.
I think you're right. I'm going Lego every time. I've stepped on a nail. Legos are not really much after you've done a nail. I'm sure it's a lot like Bowser's horn.
All I think about stepping on a nail is that one scene from Home Alone.
So the same situation. Yeah, exactly. But when I've done the same thing, like there are times when I've got my kid on my stomach and she's rocking and I just put my hand like right here because I know at some point I'm going to catch the back of her head to my nose and I'm just like, yes, you just keep rocking. Daddy's going to protect himself for a moment.
That's a much
right?
better
like,
tactic.
Yeah, because it's going to happen one of these days. But I think, we head bonk all the time. Like one of the things I do with my daughter when I'm holding her is like bonk, right? And we hit foreheads. So the idea of her headbutting me is slim to none because we've kind of got that. But I've definitely been racked by a toddler who's just like, hey, bam, right forehead to the groin, right? And you're just like, I'm down. I need a minute, kid. Like, you stay over there. So I don't know if I'd do that one over a Lego, but I definitely step on a Lego every time. That's The
headbutt that I've cooked up in my head as I would always choose a Lego. So I guess that's our final answer.
I'm going with skull is harder than Lego in the long run. That's the logic.
I mean, the head, like it blows to the head, like that's, I don't know. Those are hard. So if they hit you right in the head, those are harder to recover from than a little foot wound. But I
mean, I keep imagining breaking my nose on my kid's skull because she's screwing around and whips her head back, and then dad's got a bloody nose and it's on the back of her head.
Stories like that. I've heard plenty of stories of like roughhousing with dad, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, right? I now have back issues because they jumped on my back too hard or whatever. Because that's us, man. Right. That's dad life. All right.
I mean, my mom's gonna get her wish one day, and we're not gonna stop until somebody gets hurt. I think the problem is gonna be me and my other 40-year-old cousins, and one of us is gonna like pull a hammy because we were wrestling in the yard, and then my aunt's gonna be like, "You didn't stop till someone got hurt, did you?" And we're like, "Nah, Ain't nothing changed.
Freaking
It's been 30 years. We're still doing it this way.
Oh, we never learn. All right. Would
Yeah.
you? I mean, this, all right. This has happened to us too. I mean, guys, these are all like real anecdotes here. Okay. Would you rather find a month's old sippy cup filled with milk, or find a faucet that's been on all day?
I'd go with faucet that's been on all day.
Okay. So we have found.
It's only money.
Like, we have found. We're going in the same direction here. We found like bottles. We're like, where did those go? And then like we'll like find out like under a car seat, under a bed, just random places where like not like a full cup of milk, but like little bits, and it's like so old and dried up and green and moldy, and you're like, oh, that's nasty, right?
So
and it's like not even worth boiling and cleaning,
right?
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, we use those silicone, the silicone bottles, and we have these little silicone like make your own applesauce squeezer things, and we forgot one of those, and it molded and it stained the silicone black. And I know it's clean. I've like soaked that thing in vinegar, and I still can't bring myself to use it. I'm going with I will pay the water bill for a leaky faucet every day of the week.
Yeah, and it's like that. What I would much rather deal. I would rather find a month's old sippy cup full of milk, because I feel like it's easier to deal with. You just like throw it away or something like that. I don't know. A faucet that's been on all day, like I just like it's like I feel like guilty about like wasting resources, and I'm just like mad. And I'm also mad at the situation because it's more than likely that a kid just like left it on. Like, especially like my kids, like, don't you know better? You gotta just turn it off, like, I don't know. I feel like it's more like the actual circumstance of it, and it costs more.
I get where you're going.
I think that would frustrate me more than finding I don't know. I found old molded sippy cups with milk, and I'm just like, whatever, just toss it.
So here's the difference. Here's the difference in my head. And I'm going to take Ben's stoic position on this one.
Oh,
the sippy cup was my fault, and that's why it makes me upset. The water bill is just something that happens. I'm not going to be upset about it. Their fault.
And that's what I could deal with my own mistake. I am annoyed that
but you can't. You can't.
Like, kids will make mistakes.
If you're going to let that stuff get to you. Yeah. I mean, I see where you're going, and I haven't had a kid leave a water faucet on yet, but in the last 12 months, I've dealt with 2 house floods, and both of them were not my fault. But
isn't that way more frustrating?
If you let it get to you,
like a running faucet.
In the moment, yes. In the moment, yes. In the long run, no.
In the moment, would you rather find an old molded cup of milk or find that faucet running? I would much rather find just a molded cup of milk.
Assuming my house isn't flooded, I'd rather turn off the faucet and move on with my day. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't. No.
I would rather just throw away the bottle.
The cup will piss me off every time.
Really? It's not that big of a deal.
We're on the opposite side of this one. Yeah. Nope.
Oh,
well, and I think it's how you manage resources, right? It's funny because I look at wasted food. Okay, this is very different, right? Forgetting a bottle, wasting that, whatever it is a lack of attention to nourishing the child. Forgetting to turn off a faucet.
What's
that's
the
just
thing? Okay,
absent mind. I do that, right?
So the way that we've
it's kind of like forgetting to flush the toilet. You're a grown man, right? How many times in your life? I bet you can remember the last time you walked away and didn't remember to flush the toilet, and you came back and went, "Oh, that was my fault. What was I doing that I forgot to do that?" Right?
I've left some flaky,
but it doesn't happen that often.
I don't know what I was thinking. I just forgot to flush it.
See,
that's happened.
Yeah. Okay. See, like
here's the thing.
It happens.
Okay, the water running. You're under the assumption that is the fault of our own. I am under the assumption that it was the fault of a kid. I'm
just under the assumption that it doesn't.
Both.
I'm going with it doesn't matter who did it.
Okay. Regardless of who did it. Well, that's the thing though. The molded cups of milk that I've found weren't full cups. It's just like little bits where a kid was drinking it on the go and they just kind of dumped it. And I'm like, I don't think that's anyone's like. That's not wasted resources. That's just like whatever.
Well, and that's a whole nother. Like I've never. So we have 6 sippy cups for our daughter, and we have 5 or 6 actual bottles. We don't have like 30, right?
Yeah.
So when we're missing one, there is like we're missing one. Where is it? Mm-hmm. Right. And so when it gets lost, it's definitely an us not doing our thing. And that's the more frustrating part to me is I knew it was missing. I didn't find it. It's been long enough that it turned into black mold and is probably dangerously close to not being penicillin anymore. Like, this is a me failing to me, and that's frustrating. Whereas I expect everybody else to fail, so it's not surprising that the faucet was left on. It's like, yeah, that's an obvious one. Okay, that's off. Next. But here's the thing. If it keeps happening at my house, we're going to have those shitty truck stop things where you got to push it, and then like it only runs for 15 seconds. And then
oh my gosh. Oh, the worst one.
Like Andrew will solve that problem.
Gosh, the things that you find like on airplanes or porta johns or whatever, where it's just like you push and it just like
push it and goes. Yep.
I hate those things because those things are always like way too small.
Here's a plug. So it's not that expensive. It's like $150. You can go to Home Depot and buy this thing that you snap around your water main in your house. It connects to your Wi-Fi and it tells you if you have a running water problem. So it'll send you a text message and say, hey, your faucet's open, or hey, this water's been running longer than it should have. It also tracks dishwasher, washing machine, water heater, shower length, because effectively it's tracking the water flow through the pipe and the vibrate. It's a magic tool. It will solve that problem for you, Andrew. It'll never be a frustration again. It's not that expensive. I want to say they're under $100, but
I feel like
Smart
you need
Home
to drop that in the
guy recommends that one.
That's fan. That's interesting.
There's a lot of them. I'm not going to pick one specific because I have a brand that I like to do my house in, but that is not for everyone. There are a dozen of these things. Buy one. The other thing is they make like water leak detectors.
Mm-hmm.
You can throw underneath your sink, and they'll tell you if there's a leak in like under your sink. But anyway,
hey,
all right, you got another one for me? Or are we gonna call it?
No, you know what? I'd like to do this again with Ben, and throw a few under there.
I think it'll be a good one.
A few out there. But for now, I think we're gonna halt right there, and I really hope that other people chime in and with their thoughts on what they would do for. I think we went through 4 would you rathers. If you guys have any sort of thoughts on your approaches to any of the situations that we did, whether that's the vomit and the blowout or whatever, please let us know in the comments. I think that's definitely a fun convo to get started. That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Dad Verb Podcast. Check the links in the show notes or the YouTube description if you want to join us on Discord, or check out the Wi-Fi water leak checker thing that Andrew was talking about. I'm sure we'll craft some sort of affiliate link. You can also visit dadverb.com for courses from pregnancy up through year 1 of fatherhood. As always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you. Oh, thanks for listening as well, because this is an audio podcast as well, and not just a YouTube video. Thank you for watching and listening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.